Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where look, we've got a new type of fog of war to try today. I think this came into us very recently, but one of the testers immediately sent it through and said, it's fog of war and it's really interesting. It's called Dense Fog, and it's by Bruce Svare, is it? Bruce Svare, maybe. And yeah, this is really, really interesting. So if you're new to Fog of War, you might be wondering, what on earth is this Sudoku like? Well, the idea is, in normal Fog of War, say you could deduce what this digit was and you put it in and it was correct. It would clear the fog from all of those squares, all the surrounding cells, and then you'd learn more about what was going on under the fog. In this puzzle, I think the way it works is, if you deduce this square and you put it in correctly, it just clears this fog. The fog is so dense that nothing else gets cleared at all. So you get morsels, just the mere hints of rewards for correct digits in this puzzle. And this is what our task is going to be today, to solve this puzzle, which is I'm going to find a lot of fun, I think. And I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, where's my list of things that I've got to tell you about today? There are quite a few. I'll start off with a mention on the Discord server. I've talked about this the last couple of days. There's a user on the Discord server who's been messaging me called Hildegard, warning me about the perils of artificial intelligence. Well, now it seems that this person is actually posting bizarre messages on the server itself. So, I mean, my recommendation is that the whole community basically comes together and takes a look into the matter and helps Hildegard out. That would seem to be the kindest thing to do. In any other news, I did a crossword video earlier on today in which I got to revisit my school days. There was all sorts of things in today's Times crossword relevant to Simon as a young man. So if you do have any interesting cryptic crosswords, or you want to learn how to do them, there are some tips and tricks in that video, and I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen right now. And then the other big news is that we are closing in on the 1st of November, which for our patrons over on Patreon is reward day, first of every month. And a couple of months ago, we had a DiMono novella where, to access the later parts of the story, you had to solve Sudokus, which was a lovely idea. It was really, really popular. Well, DiMono has actually made another of these sort of story-based Sudoku hunts, where to access the whole story you have to keep solving the puzzles, and that is going to be our monthly reward for November. So that's going to come out on the 1st. Well, no, it's going to come out at 4 o'clock on the 1st of November. So do look out for it. And if you think that might be up your street, please consider becoming a patron. It's a couple of bucks a month, and it's I think a very grand community. Then other news, I've got loads of birthdays to do today. I don't know how the birthdays work. Some days I have no birthdays, and then other days, the 27th of October was obviously a day when lots of very intelligent people were birthed. Let's start with Ago, who's turned 18 today. Ago, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, and I hope you have chocolate cake today and a great birthday. This might be a problem. Alex, you've turned 25, got away with it. You've turned 25 today, and I know this because your partner Grace wrote to us and said you might like a shout out. Maisie, your partner James wrote to us and told us that apparently the two of you are having to have a long distance relationship at the moment, but you solve the puzzles together over the phone. That's just brilliant. And Maisie, I hope you have a great day today. Oh, and then I had a strange message. So I keep all the birthdays on my phone, and I just had a message saying it was Matthew's birthday. And then I did a big trawl of our emails and our various social media accounts. I can find no reference to which Matthew this is. So Matthew, happy birthday. And I'm very sorry I can say no more to you than that. Next, Odessa the cat. It's Odessa the cat's birthday, and I know this because Odessa's owner Mary wrote to us and told us about Odessa, who apparently, the moment that the Mozart music chimes up on a video, runs and sits in front of the screen and watches. Mary actually sent a video of Odessa watching a video, and I mean, the cat is properly concentrating. It's quite impressive. And yeah, so I love that. And Odessa, I'm not sure you're going to be allowed chocolate cake, but I still hope you have a very nice birthday. Now, the next one, I hope I'm going to say or pronounce correctly. I think it's Siv. It's S-I-W is the spelling. And I know Siv is from Denmark, so Mark has Danish blood. So I asked him how to pronounce it, and he wasn't sure either. But anyway, he thinks Siv might be right. So I'm going to go for Siv, who is 22 today. And I know this because your roommate Marie, who is French, wrote to us and also told us you're having layer cake today. So enjoy the cake. Layer cake is not chocolate cake. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's got some hint of chocolate about it. Next, Stephen. Stephen, you've turned 60 today, and I know this because your wife Nancy wrote to us, and Nancy said that you both watch every video and discuss the solutions after the video's finished. That is absolutely fantastic. So, Stephen, I hope today is a good video and you and Nancy have an interesting discussion after it finishes. And then finally, I think it's Teresa. It could be Teresa. I'm never sure about which of those is the correct pronunciation. Well, your husband Nick wrote to us, Teresa, I think. Oh, Teresa. Yeah, Teresa. Anyway, Teresa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday from your husband Nick and from me. Many happy returns, and I hope you get cake. Now, let's turn our attention to solving. Let's have a look at dense fog and see what Bruce Svare has in store for us. These are the rules of the puzzle. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The numbers outside the grid are the sum of the numbers on that diagonal. So those digits sum to 70, and these digits sum to the rather smaller total of 20. No number may be a knight's move away from itself. So we've got knight's move Sudoku today. So let's make this square purple. What that means is, let's get this right, none of those squares there, so none of these green cells could contain the same digit as the purple cell, because if, say, this cell and this cell both contained a 1, they're obviously a knight's move away from each other, and that is too naughty for words. Don't do that, you'll get the puzzle wrong. Numbers in white circle quads must appear in at least one of the surrounding cells. A question mark in the quad refers to an unknown number. All numbers in the quad are sorted from smallest to largest, left to right and top to bottom. Example 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 6, 6. Duplicates are allowed in a quad. Right, so what that's saying is imagine we could see what's under the fog, the dense fog in these cells. I can hear Mavericks taken off. But let's imagine we could see. Now, a quadruple clue is a circle that would live and touch all 4 of these squares. And I think what this is saying is that if these digits turned out to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, then the quadruple clue would have to be arranged in normal reading order 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 would be in the top left-hand side of the circle, 2 would be here, 3 would be here, and 4 would be here. Obviously, the digits could be in any order, but in terms of how the quadruple clue would look, it would have 1 in its top left, 2 in its top right, 3 in its bottom left, 4 in its bottom right, because it would be in normal reading order, starting with the lowest digit. Oh, but there can be duplicates as well. And duplicates are perfectly possible, not obviously in a quadruple clue touching those 4 squares, but imagine there was a quadruple clue touching these 4 squares. Those 2 squares could easily both be 8, couldn't they? That would be fine. They could both be 9. So you could have a clue that was 8, 8, 9, 9. Although then you'd need something else to show you why the puzzle didn't have 2 solutions. Anyway, that's by the by. What else? We've got a white dot separating 2 squares has values that are different by 1. Right, so what that's saying is that the 2 digits separated by the white dot are consecutive. It's not quite the language we normally use, but basically a white dot is going to separate consecutive digits. A black dot separating two squares has values in a ratio of 2. Okay, so what that's saying is one digit is double the other. Not all white and black dots are given. Additionally, the grid is covered by a dense fog, and placing a number in the correct square will reveal only that square. So, okay, those are the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And the good thing about Fog of War is, especially when there's actually no white cells, it's just going to be the difference, isn't it, between the whopping high total for this diagonal and the whopping low total for that diagonal. So the maximum total you could have on a diagonal would be 72 if you had 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. 3 lots of 24 is 72, and the minimum total is 18 if you had 1, 2, 3 there. That's 6, isn't it? 1 plus 2 plus 3. So you could have 3 lots of 6. So effectively, yeah, so it's going to shrink down in the sense that this digit has to be as low as it possibly can be, given the constraint that we need to make this diagonal add up to 70. So at the minimum this could be, if this was maxed out with 7, 8, 9 triples, this would be an absolute minimum of 7. Well, we can't put 7 here, because 6 plus 6 plus 7 is already 19. Once you add another 1 and a 2 to that, you're going to get to 22. So what we've got to do is affect this digit maximally. We've got to reduce this digit as much as we can while retaining our ability to make 70. So we could reduce a 7 here to 5, and that would allow 70 to be made if this was an 8-9 pair here and the rest of it was 7-8-9, 7-8-9, and this was 5-8-9. And then if this is 5, you can still just keep this diagonal down to 20 by having 5 with a 1-2 pair, which add up to 8, and then this would be 6, and that would be 6, and that would be the extra 12 that we need. So this square is a 5, and that's going to hopefully yield some... that's rotten. Okay, it's yielded something, which is that quadruple contains a 5. Well, that's not very surprising. Oh, no, I do see what that's doing, actually. Right, the way to see what this is doing is going to be to label up this diagonal, actually, because we know that that's an 8-9 pair, don't we? And this is a 1-2-3 pair, this is a 1-2, this is a 1-2, and this is a 1-2-3 pair. Now, look, there is a 9 in this quadruple. And given that we know that this is an 8-9 pair, that means that this is a 9, I think. Yes, this is an 8. Now, what we can do with that is... I don't know, I mustn't forget the Knight's Move constraint as well, because I've not done the Knight's Move puzzle for ages. In fact, there's a little something that's just occurred to me then, as I mentioned Knight's Move. I don't know if it's going to be important, but look at the Fistamafell ring. That now can't contain a 5. It's true of any Knight's Move. Well, it's not quite true of any Knight's Move puzzle, but it's certainly true here, where none of these 4 squares could be a 5. So in fact, if we draw the ring, which is the theorem that says that these 16 cells here are the identical digits to those 16 cells in the corner, we can now see that because 5 can't go in the Fistamafell ring at all, none of these squares could be a 5. Yeah, I think that's probably too complicated. I don't know. If we need Fistamafell, I will certainly prove it, of course. Right, how do we do this then? The reason I'm just pausing is that the Knight's Move constraint I don't think is applying to any of the digits I've learned, except in respect of the Fistamafell trickery. 8 has to be in one of those 4 squares, but 8 already is. Oh! Silly me. Right. Remember what the rules were. Remember the rules if you want to solve the puzzle. The rules were that the quadruple clues, which weirdly that doesn't actually look round to me. Does that? Is that round or does that look elliptical? It looks like a rugby. It looks like it's sort of squeezed. I don't know if that's just my eyesight. Have I got the right? I have got the right glasses on. But this rugby ball here has a 5 in its top left cell, so the minimum clue around this is a 5. But these digits all have to be different, and they can't involve 9. So these must be 5. Oh, right, okay, so this clue is 5, 6, 7, 8, but I was about to put a 6 in here, but that's not necessarily true, is it? We know these two squares are a 6, 7 pair, but just because the clue, if we could see the whole clue, it would be 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't mean we fill the quadruple in 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't know that yet, so these squares are 3 and 4. Right, and that's interesting because of the Knight's Move constraint. Right, so now we should look at these 4 squares, I think, because of the Knight's Move. That digit, if we look at it, it sees the central cross of the grid, and that central cross contains 2 pairs. So this digit cannot be either 3 or 4 or 6 and 7, because imagine it was 4, for example. It sees both of those cells, so you couldn't put 4 in the middle box at all. So this square, this square, this square, and this square by symmetry have to be 1, 2, 8, and 9. And that means... I don't know what that means. I'm spotting something else. There's a 7 in one of these two. So this can't be 7, can it? Because that would stop us being able to put 7 in the middle box. But the 3 and the 4 reach into box 1 in a similar but more useless way. This quadruple, or this rugby ball here, this rugby ball is useless because we know exactly what the digits are. We don't know the order, but even if we could reveal everything in the rugby ball, it wouldn't help us with the ordering of the digits around the quadruple. And this rugby ball here, we know that there is... Oh, I see. No, that's very clever. Oh, I like that. Right. So this one actually is useful for a weird reason. Oh, in fact, it's even weirder than I thought. Hang on. Okay, I'll tell you what I first saw. I haven't quite got to the end of my second train of thought. But my first train of thought is this. There is a 3 around this quadruple somewhere. Now, I don't know where that is, and indeed there could be 2 3s. But there must be a 3 in at least one of those 2 squares, mustn't there? There must be. So how could this ever be a 3? If this was a 3, you couldn't put a 3 around that quadruple, so that must be a 4, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's 4. That is 3. Oh, that's cool. Right, this is good. Hang on, let me just get rid of my highlighting. Because that's a white dot. And the only one of these digits that's consecutive with 3 is 2. So this isn't a 2. Ah, this is a black dot here. So this has got to be 2 or 8. 2 being half of 4, 8 being double 4. Now let's come back here. So that 2 must be the top left rugby ball. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so I still don't know what this is, do I? Okay, so right, the thing I'd seen before was that this square couldn't be 1 or 2. And the reason for that is, imagine you made this a 1. It would see this cell by Sudoku and this square by Knight's Move. But actually, I think the nature of the quadruple clue could have told me that, especially once you find out this is a 2. So this 2 is corresponding to the top left corner. This 3 might be this top right cell, but what if this was a 3? That could still be a 3, couldn't it? Oh, no, this is right. Hang on. Well, it might be able to be a 3. But there's a 2 and a 3 seeing this square by knight's move jiggery pokery, because that 2 sees it, so it's not 2, and that 3 sees it, so that's 1, which means these squares are not 1, and it means this square isn't 1. No. Oh, where's the 6 around that quadruple clue? Well, that's got to be there, presumably. Oh, that's great. So this is 6, this is 7. I really like the beginning of this. These little quadruple clues where you only get to reveal like a quadrant. They really are clever. Look at this one again now. If we look at there is a 6 in the bottom left, which means this bottom right digit is at least a 6. Well, which we've got the 6 already. So which one of these squares could be higher or equal to 6? Only this one if it was an 8. So that is an 8. I don't know if that does tell me that one. It removes 8 from there. And that removes 8 from here, look. This is the problem with these puzzles as well, is that especially if you haven't done Knight's Move Sudoku for a while, there can be absolutely obvious stuff that you just miss. 6 can't go there because of the Knight's Move, so 6 is in one of 2 places in column 4. 8 couldn't go here by Knight's Move because it would have been a Knight's Move away from that 8. I have a feeling we can do the 1 and the 2 in the middle box. I just have to figure out how that gets resolved. Actually, I'm not sure now. So it must be this one, must it? This one has got an 8, but not. Well, no, no. I was about to say it has to have a 9 around it, because this the quadrant that's in the top left of this cell, whatever's in that quadrant cell, I was going to say has to be bigger than 8, but it could be 8 and that would make that an 8. So. Okay, alright, so those 3 cells, actually let's get rid of the purple for a second. Hang on, how do I do that? Get rid of purple. Right, these 3 squares here are they have a virtual 8-9 pair in them, I think. Now, I'm just going to double check that, because what I'm thinking is, if this bottom right hand digit in the rugby ball is 8, that's an 8 and that's a 9. That's forced. But if it's a 9, then that's an 8, because there'll be a 9 in one of those. So these always contain 8 and 9. And that means 8 is always in one of 2 cells in box 3. Which is... Oh, I see. Right, okay. In fact, I've now realised I've been looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so I shouldn't have been looking here. I should have been looking actually over here. I didn't notice. Okay, so actually what I should have done is asked the rather bizarre question, where is 8 in box 4? And the answer to that is I really haven't got a Scooby-Doo, except that it's not in those squares and it's not there because of this one. So it's in a sort of cornucopia of places. It's in one of those. But the point is that the 8 there's definitely an 8 in this triple, and it's definitely in this domino. So we can now ask where 8 goes in column 3, and the answer is not in any of those cells, so it's down at the bottom, where it's meeting its friends here. So now we ask where 8 goes in row 7, and it's not in any of these squares, So it's in one of these 3 in row 7, and yet it's also simultaneously got to be in one of those 3 in box 9. So it must be here. So that is 8, which now means that we've revealed that the bottom right-hand clue around this quadruple is a 9. There is definitely a 9 in one of those squares. No, bobbins, I can't see what that's doing. That's really weird. Okay, so can we pencil mark 8 in this box? Yes. Oh, I see. This is lovely, actually. This is weird. You forget how powerful Knight's Move Sudoku is, but it's really powerful. Okay, in fact, let's fully So all I did here was note where 8 can be in this box by Sudoku. It's in one of those 4 cells, but that 8 sees that one by Knight's Move. This one can't be 8, because where would you then put 8 in box 3? If that's an 8, that's ruled out, and that's a Knight's Move away from this. So that's not 8, and now 8 is over here looking at that 8. So 8 gets placed in box 3, which places 8 in box thingy thing, box, technical term being box 1. Now where does 8 go in box 4? Maverick's doing a fly past again. Can't go there by Knight's Move, can't go there by Sudoku, so all of these come out. No. Oh, I just want to remove 8s from these squares. That's an 8 we've discovered. I see, so that's an 8. I'm getting these 8s, but they're not revealing any more of these circles, are they? How many 8s have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're left with this little 2x2 of 8s down here, which I don't think we can resolve by reference to only 8s, because none of the rest of the 8s in the grid, even with a Tigger bounce, they couldn't involve themselves in this quadruple. So I suspect what I'm meant to do, I actually haven't got a clue. I'm trying to think about what it might... Oh, I know what it'll be. It'll be 9 in this box, look. Is that useful? Yes, it is. Okay, so this 9 sees that square. It sees these 3 by Sudoku, and it sees that square by Knight's Move. So 9 is in a domino. Now that means that 9 in box 6 is in one of those 3 squares, but because of this quadruple clue where we learnt that there is a 9 in one of these 2 squares, the only square that simultaneously meets both of those criteria is that one. And therefore, let's get rid of the orange here, we've discovered... well, what's that doing? I don't know. Hang on. I'm sure that's doing something. No, okay, 9 in box 3 maybe? It's got to be in one of those cells. No, that's useful. Okay, so 9, 7. Every time you get a digit in this, you sort of think there's going to be a vast harvest to be garnered from it, but there just isn't. It just keeps stopping. 7. Right, so where's 7 in box 6? Not there. This 7's powerful because it sees those 2 by Knight's Move. So 7 gets locked in there, which gives you a 7 here. That's good. So that's now 9. That's 7 by Sudoku. Now... Wow, 7, right, 7 in box 7 is locked into one of 2 places. We might be able to improve on that. Let's just give me a second to think about this. 7 in... Yeah, so 7 in box 8. It can't go there, look, because it would knock 7 out of both of these squares, a 7 here, because of the Knight's Move. So 7... is in one of 2 places, I think. I don't know, that might be alright. So 7 in box 2. One of 2 places again. No. Row 5, 1, 4, 1, 4 and 6. Right, that square can't be 1 because of this one, this cell. So these are from 1, 4 and 6. Can we do any better than that? Don't know. Wow. Oh, goodness me. There's a 9 here, so that's a 9. Whoopsie. How did I not get that before? Now, okay, so what can we do with 9s now? So 9... That's weird that I didn't get that, actually. How did that... Oh, I see. It's because I got a 7 here, which gave me this 9, and then I didn't think about looking back into this box. Okay, well, it's just my ineptitude. So 9 is in... My phone is going nuts. Why is my phone going nuts? I've got a 9 in one of these squares, in box 2. Can we limit 9? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Where's 9 in box 8? Now this one is powerful because it knocks out the knight's moves and it knocks out its row. That one knocks out those 2. So 9 is in one of 2 places. We might even be able to improve upon that, but that means 9 up there is there. So let's double click the 9s and see if that helps us. 9 in... What about 9 down there? Is that... No. 9's in one of 3 places, I want to say, in box 7. That might be wrong. How many 9s have we got? 6. Oh, okay. Look at box 3. I've got a 6 here. Where do I put 6 in it? That can't be 6 because of the knight's move, so that's a 6. So there's a 6 up here. And these squares have got to be a 4-5 pair. And that's probably helpful. He says, trying to work out why. I've actually just spotted something else, but it wasn't quite related to that, so I'll come back to that in a moment. Hang on, let me just see if I can... How do I use this 6? I don't know. Oh, bobbins. Okay, I might have to mention the other thing I noticed. Okay, so what I noticed was, look at this row. I've got all the high digits in it. Now that digit is really interesting. Yeah, I know. Just don't talk to me at parties. I mean, I gave you a flavour yesterday with the buffalo sentence and the smelt sentence. But this is really interesting to me because what can that digit be? Now, because of the knight's move, it can't be 2, 3 or 5. So in theory, it's 1 or 4, but it can't be 1. Because if that was 1, where would you put 1 in the middle box? You couldn't put it anywhere. So that, I think, is a naked single 4. Yeah, well, it seemed to be revealed, so that must be right. So there's a 4 down here. Now this is 5. This is 4. So 4 is now in one of those 2 squares by Sudoku. These squares are from 1, 2 and 3. That can't be 2 because of the knight's move. And what does that do? That presumably does something. There's definitely a 1 over there, which I hadn't pencil marked in case that's important. Golly. It's not straightforward, is it? Or at least not to me. There's this. It's still sticky. We've still got to... There's still very definitely thinking to do here. No. And the thought I was just about to have was totally inept. So I shouldn't have inept thoughts. Stop having inept thoughts, Simon. 7? No. No! How do you resolve the 1 and the 2 in the middle box? Are they just resolved and I'm just not seeing it? That's very, very possible. That's infuriating if so. I'm looking for more tricks like this one, but I'm not seeing them. I think perhaps I am meant to be thinking about the cells around the Fistemafel ring, because some of them, well, this one for example, this one can't be 1 or 2, and it's also had a lot of other things ruled out from it, because if this was 1 or 2 you couldn't put 1 or 2 in the middle box again. So that square, let's actually pencil mark it. It could be 3, maybe. I haven't spotted why it can't be 3. Can it be 4? No. Can it be 5? No. No, because of the 5 in the middle. 6? Can it be 7? Ooh, maybe. I have got a corner pencil mark for 7 as well. That's rotten, isn't it? Bobbins. So that was nearly really useful, but then it stopped being useful. And that's very annoying. Okay, let's try that one. See, this one I don't think is as powerful, because it doesn't see the 1-2 pair in the same way. This square could, I think, be a 1 or a 2. And therefore can probably be lots of things. It can't be... Can it be 3? I think it can. Can it be 4? No. Can it be 5? No. 6? It can't... oh, this can be 7 as well. Okay, and it can't be 8 or 9. So that square is 2. Oh, that square can't be 1, because the 1 is in one of those. Okay, so 2, 3, or 7. We must be able to do better than that, can't we? I don't know. 5 in this column, though. I'm seeing as down here. That means 5 in this row, because we know it can't go in these squares because of the central 5 is in those 2 squares, which almost overlaps perfectly with the 9, but not quite. We've got 3 pencil marks for 9. So there's a 5 in one of these, so we know that there's a 5 in one of those. And so 5, no, it's not good enough again. You rotten thing. Bobbins. Okay. Okay. I don't know where to look, to be honest. Let's try that one then. So that can't be 1 or 2. Can it be 3? Maybe. Not sure. Can it be 4? No. Can it be 5? No. Can it be 6? Possibly. I'm not seeing why it can't be 6. Can it be 7? I'm not seeing why it can't be 7. Ah! It can't be 8. Can't be 9. So 3, 6, or 7. Is that useful? That's almost certainly not useful. Alright, let's try that one. That one could be 3 again, I think. This one might be able to be 4. I'm not seeing a 4 reaching into this square. 5, it can't be. 6, it can't be. 7. 8, it can't be. 9, it can't be. 3, 4, or 7. Wow, okay, so that's no use. This is tricky. It's definitely tricky. So where should we look next? We could look at... I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the weakness is, which digit is particularly exposed, that if I focus on it, it will become clear. I mean, I think I probably have to pencil mark these 2 squares as well. That one does see all the high digits, so immediately we can say this is 2, 3, 4, or 5, and it can't be 5 because of the middle. So 2, 3, or 4 for this one. Can we improve upon that at all? The answer is... don't know. Don't know, but fear that I fear that one has all... Ah, no, hang on. No, it can't be 2, can it? Because it would see the middle cells. Right, 3 or 4 we're down to for this one. Can we get rid of one more digit? The answer is... I need to get rid of 3, I feel like. So that would put a 3 up there. What's wrong with that? don't know. All right, let's try that one, because that was almost good. Right, this one. This one can't be 1 or 2 because it does see both of them. It can't be 3. Can it be 4? No. This one. Oh, is it literally going to be the last one I look at? I bet you it is. This could be 6, I think. That 6 doesn't see it. It might be able to be 7. But it's not 8 or 9. So that square is just 6 or 7. Surely that's got to be crucial. How do we use that? I don't know. I don't know. Is there some way we can deduce something from that? I don't know if there is, actually. How do we... Golly, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to have to think again. What could it be then? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm probably missing a very obvious knight's move trick. And that's very annoying. 2, 3, 4. We've almost got some sort of quadruple going on in this row, look. Because these squares here, they can't be 1 and they can't be 7, 8 or 9. Now, can they be 6? Yes, I think so. They'd be very useful if they were 6, because that would make this a 1-4 pair and make this a 6, which would make that a 6, which would make that a 6. I've no idea if this is working or not. That would make that a 6. So 6s would be very constrained if we could do that. In fact... that's useful. Right, thinking about 6s is important, because I've just realised I can look at this box and ask where 6 goes. These 2 6s rule out those squares, and that 6 sees that one by knight's move. So 6 is in the same domino that I've got a 1 pencil marked in. So this is a 1-6 pair. That's going to knock 6 out of there, but it also much more easily gives me a 4 here. Oh, look, 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 this is huge. This is absolutely mighty. I'm not sure exactly what it's done yet, but I've got a dot, which I'm very excited about. Well, it certainly knocks 9 out of this square. I'm not sure if it's doing more than that. Hang on. Right, 4 is now in one of those squares. I don't want to, well, okay, this can't be 3, can it? Because of that 3, so that is 5. Oh, that's a relief. It is 5 as well. Oh, so that's huge, because that's 5 now by Sudoku. Oh, did we already know that? Maybe we did. No, I don't think we did, because I hadn't ruled out 5 from this square. Now 9 seems to have to be here. That looks correct. So 9 is not there. So 9 is in one of these 2. I don't believe it. Have I got? Don't tell me I've got 7 9s in the grid. I do, and I'm left with a sort of deadly pattern on 9s that isn't interrupted by any of the 9s I've just filled in. You wouldn't credit it, would you? Okay. Oh, I've seen something else. All right, that's such a relief when you see anything in these sorts of puzzles. Oh, I've seen another thing. I've got a 3-7 pair in row 6 now. Okay, that's interesting. So these are 1, 2 and 4, and they can't be 1, so that's a 2-4 pair. So that's not 2. Right, I've now got a 3-7 pair in this column, so this is not 3. That must be important, surely. Get rid of the 4 pencil marked here. If this is a 2-4 pair, then this is a 1 in the middle. Goodness me, that's taken a long time to figure out. So 1, is that useful? 1 is locked into one of 3 places in box 8. I still haven't used the thing I noticed before, so I'm saving that up in case I can't see anything else good. These squares are from 1, 2 and 5. So this... no, that's not even true. Don't say things that aren't true. It won't be impressive in a video. Golly, okay. Alright, I will now show you what I noticed. So let's come back to these squares, which can't be 6 and they can't be 5 now. So I think these squares are a 2, 3, 4. I don't know which they are, but I think they're from 2, 3 and 4. I'm just going to double check it. So they have to be, in theory, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. They're not 6, they're not 5. 2, 3 or 4. Yeah, I think they're 2, 3 or 4. Now that gives me a 2, 3, 4 triple here, which means this square I think is 9. Right, that's great. So that means that one's 9. That's all the 9s, isn't it? We've now got all the 9s. So in this row we've not put 5, 6... oh, where's the 5 in this row? That 5 is knocking it out, so that's a 5. That can't be 9. We knew that already. Oh, we already... ah, we're not taking things forward as far as I'd hoped. This square is 6 or 7. But I don't think that's useful. I might be wrong, but I'm seeing all sorts of ways that this can get resolved. Ah, the 2 in the 2, 3, 4 triple is on the left. So these don't have 2 in them. So they are a 1, 5 pair. That knocks 1 out of this square. So ones are arranged in an awkward little 2 by 2. That square's a 2 now by Sudoku. So that gives me a 1, 3 pair up there. Is that helpful? Not sure. I'm really not sure. Okay, 2 comes out of that square for what that's worth, which is probably not much. 3 is definitely in one of those squares in this column. I'm definitely going to pencil mark that in case that triggers something. And okay, I don't quite know what to do with that. Do we know? Okay, so 6 in this box is in one of those 2 squares for sure. Is that helpful? I rather fear it isn't. It's knocking 6 out of that square for what that... or we already knew that wasn't 6. Let's check this column. 1, 3, 4, 5. So this square is 1, 3 or 5. Can we do better than that? No. I don't think so. I don't think I can anyway. What about... these are horrible as well. Oh, right, 1 in this column has to be at the top. Is that useful? No, of course it's not. Alright, let's try this column generally. 1, 2, 3 and 7. So these are 2, 3 and 7. So that bottom cell is 2. Oh, that's a 2, 3 pair out of absolutely nowhere in the bottom row. Is that good? I don't know. I don't think it is. I might be wrong. There's probably some jiggery pokery we can perform, but I don't think there's much. There's a 2 in one of these 2 squares, just by Sudoku in box 1. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Okay, so it must be something. There must be something that's reaching in somewhere, sorting all this nonsense out. Where is the nonsense sorter to be found? Come on, nonsense sorter. Show your face. I don't know. Oh, here's a tiny point that I hadn't noticed in case it matters. 1 is now in one of those squares in box 4. Yeah, that is the world's worst deduction. Ignore that. That's not helpful. See, the thing is, it's going to be some sort of knight's move trick that I'm not spotting, I'm sure. Maybe... Can we do any better with 5s than I've done at the moment? Let's try that. Is there something to be learnt from the digit 5? I'm not seeing it. There could be. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I can't see it there. 2, 3, 4, 1, 6. Or is there a black dot or a white dot that I haven't noticed? That's very possible. That's the sort of thing that I would miss. I don't really know where to look here. I'm not sure where the pressure is on the puzzle. Is there a reason? Let's try. I wonder if one of those squares is seen by either a 3 or a 7. That would make some... That feels... that's the sort of thing I would miss. If that's a 4, then those two are both 4s. That almost makes it impossible to put a 4 into box 9, but you could put a 4 there. Which would put a 4 in one of these two squares. I think either is available. There's a 4 in one of these two. Oh, that looks right almost, doesn't it, actually? Why? Okay, so why can't this be a 3? If this was a 3, then... I don't know. I don't know why that's impossible. All right, let's try the bottom row, because we have got this. We did reveal this weird 2-3 pair, didn't we? So 1, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, so this square is 4 or 6 only. That cell there. That feels like it might matter. How do we use that? Don't know. Can't see how to use it. Okay. So what do we say? 1, 4, 5, 6, 8. So this square is 1, 4, 5. It's not 6 or 8. So can that really be all of 1, 4, and 5? I think it can. All right. This square, 1, 4, 5, 6, or 8. Now I've already got a 6, 8 pencil mark in there, so why can't this be 5? Don't know. And let me... Oh, this one does see 1 and 5 actually, so that's 4, 6, or 8, is it? Now can we eliminate anything from here? Golly gosh, I don't know. I can't see how to do it. So this bottom row is really horrible. It's not nice at all. So what might it be? Is there an obvious point of weakness? I don't know. I'm getting worried now. Because at least I was I might not have been solving it with any great alacrity, but we were getting through it slowly but steadily, weren't we? And now all of a sudden I've ground to an almighty halt. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 7 into this column. Now that can't be 1, so this in theory is 2, 3, or 7. Is there anything else we can remove from it? I don't think there is. That can't be 2, so that's 1, 3, or 7, unless there's some way I can remove 3 from it. Don't think so. And that's 1, 2, 3. That's just 1, 2, or 3, is it? And can we get rid of anything else? I don't think so. Alright, let's try this box, I suppose. We've got effectively 5 digits. We need 4, 6, 7, and 8. So that digit is just 4 or 6. Now that happens somewhere. Oh, there. They're not very close to each other. That square, 4, 6. Literally 4, 6, 7 or 8. Can we get rid of any of those options? Oh, that's so rotten. So all we really get is that one. Golly, I am perplexed here. If that's 8, that's interfering with all sorts of things. Is that possible? If that's 8, then we're saying that's 8. That's putting 7 there. It's making this a 6. It's making that a 7. I think that feels like it's correct to me, actually. These two being 8. The other way round, those two would be 8. I think that has much less effect on the grid because neither of these has corner pencil marks in it, so it's going to be much more powerful if we can prove it's that way round. Okay, so how do we do this? If that's 3, that's 3. Oh, there you go. Wow. Wow. I mean, that's not easy to see. Is that even right? I think it is right. Okay, so if this is 3, what I'm saying is that we then have to, I seem to have to put a 3 in one of those two squares. So if I do put 3 there, I have to put 3 here, and then that is going to require, by Sudoku, a 3 here, which is going to put 3s and knights move away from each other. So that has to be 1. That has to be 1. That has to be 3. Now, does that help us? Yes, because now... Oh, yes, it does! Oh! That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. Oh, that was a big relief. Okay, so this is now a 2. So that's not a 2 at the top. Now, don't just give up now and stop. That would be very, very... Oh, no, it's not going to this time. That's now 7, because I've got to put a 7 in column 2. So this is not 7. So this is now 6, which is taking 6 out of there. Is this the way round I wanted it to be? I'm not sure it is. I can't remember what I thought would be the cleanest way of solving it. Right, this column has not got 6 in it, has it? So that must be 6 at the top, I think. Feels like, yeah, that was right. That seemed to displace a pencil mark for a 2, so that's a 2. Now where does 4 go in column 1? It has to go there, so this is a 6. I get a 3-7 pair in column 3. These two squares are known. They're a 4-5 pair, and I know the order. Yes, 4-5. So this is a 6-8 pair at the bottom, and this being what's this done? this big, oh, I've got a 1-3 pair in that row, so I haven't put 2 into the top row, so that's got to be the 2. Oh look! Oh no! No, that's rotten. That's absolutely outrageous. Completely useless. Look, there's a dot underneath the fog, but it goes on to a cell that can only be a 1 or a 3, so I get no benefit from that. It's almost like that's the trolling dot. Right, 5, 7, that's thrown me. 5 or 7 into this square. And that's 5 or 8. So the 7 in this column is placed now, I think. Which gives me a 1-3 pair, makes this a 5. That's no longer 5 at the bottom there. So this is a 1-3-4 triple, and that can't be 4. So this is 1-3-4. So this is 7. I'm still very conscious of the fact this 6 is reaching into the 6-8 pair by knight's move. So that's great. 6-8, 8-5. 5-1, 4, 3, 1. Yeah, now I believe it might be solvable. Now, oh, another deadly pattern. So there's got to be a 2 or a 4 reaching into this to stop this being deadly. 2-4 means this is 6. Therefore, that is 3. That's 3, that's 1, that's 1, that's 6. Oh, haha, that's okay. It's not a 2 or a 4, it's a dot that's going to resolve this. Oh, and then we've got a 3-7 deadly pattern as well, I've just seen. So something's got to... Right, the 1 on the black dot resolves that stuff. Now the 3-7 must be resolved. Ah, that 7 is seeing that one. So that's got to be 3. That's got to be 3. That's got to be 7. There we go. We finished it. Let's see. Oh, that was monstrous at the end. Really interesting puzzle. Not that easy. Not that easy, I'm going to say. But very enjoyable. Dense fog. Bruce Svare. Take a bow. Very, very clever. And tricky puzzle. I really like the start. I love the fact that these quadruple clues actually revealed something because of their order. That was really interesting. And I'd love to know. I wonder if I did miss anything. I can't even. Oh, that 1-3 thing was quite tricky. If that was how you were meant to resolve that final piece, but we got through it, and I enjoyed it a lot. Do let me know if you had a go. Do drop a comment in. I like the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back again later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.